Greetings and welcome back to the Casual Wargamer. This evening we're taking a look at the Tactical Brigade for Orks, and this is a little bit of an odd one, not in the detachment itself, but in the comments that I am seeing online about it from a variety of Orky players. The blurb at the top of the page, where you get a description of what the detachment represents, it talks about the Bloodaxe clan, and the Bloodaxes are a clan of Orks who tend to copy Umi ways. They sometimes hire out as mercenaries to the Astra Militarum and certain other Imperial forces, and they tend to sort of like copy how the Umis do it. Well, I've seen a lot of comments from people where they've gone, well, I play Goths, I play Snakebites, I play Bad Moon, so I can't play this detachment. It's like, well, yes, you can. That's like me saying I play an Imperial 5th successor, so I can't play Gladius Task Force, because that's how Ultramarines play. Of course you can play this. And it's very weird that people are taking that little bit of blurb, that little bit of explanation of what the detachment sort of represents, which is copying Umi ways of doing things and trying to be tactical, a little too much to heart. So if you do play a clan other than Bloodaxes, you can still perfectly well play this as Goths or whatever. This with Ghazghkull could be quite fun, You tell me. I just find it really weird that it's being picked apart on the blurb rather than on the mechanics. So your detachment rule for this is called Listen Here. I hope you're all listening. And it basically says that once per battle round in your command phase or after being set up on the battlefield in your movement phase, each boss, Snickrot, mech and war boss model in your army can issue tactics abilities. Now, I will intercept here that there are also a few comments about the wording of this. There are people who are saying that mech and war boss are being used here as keywords. So you would have your various options. And did I bring this up on my page just to remind myself? Where are we? War boss. Here we go. If it's war boss by keyword, you're looking at beast bosses, beast boss on Squigosaur, Death Killer Wartrike, Ghazghkull himself, Mozrug, Scragbad, basic war bosses and war bosses in Mega Armor. I don't think, and you have the same sort of thing with mechs. I don't think it's intending to be the keyword. Even though Boss Snickrot does have Boss Snickrot as a keyword. I think this is talking specifically about the unit name, so you would need a mech or a war boss, not one of the variants. I think they need to clarify this though, but you tell me what you think. Anyway, the tactics. To do this, you pick one or two of the tactics below and select one friendly Orc unit within 6 inches of the model to issue an order to them. If you selected 2 tactics, that unit must make a leadership test. If it fails, they take D3 mortal wounds, presumably as they beat each other up over what to actually do. It kind of feels like the way Orcs used to be in Warhammer Fantasy. They had this little thing where they could beat each other up, and it was fun. Okay, until the start of the next command phase, the selected unit is affected by the selected tactics. A unit cannot have tactics issued to it this way more than once per battle round. So you can't have 2 war bosses and they both sort of throw the same thing on to kind of boost. Tactics abilities cannot be issued to battle shock units, and if a unit affected by tactics becomes battle shocked, all tactics cease to affect the unit while it is battle shocked. So this is basically the Astra Militarum orders mechanic, given a bit of an Orky makeover and redone. Your 4 tactics are get stuck in, which lets you re-roll charge rolls for this unit. Get on with it, which adds 1 to the strength of melee weapons equipped by models in the unit. Sneaky stalking. Notice my Orky voice. Infantry and mounted model excluding meganobs in the unit have stealth, and each time a ranged attack targets the unit, those models benefit from cover, or have the benefit of cover, I should say. And shooter drills. Each time an infantry or mounted model makes a ranged attack, add 1 to the hit roll. Now, as it says, you can select 2 of these if you want to. I think, personally, it's only get stuck in and get on with it, which really work and are worth the risk. getting the extra, getting the reroll on the charge and the extra strength to the melee weapons could be quite handy dandy. And then oddly, for some reason, Storm Boys in this army gain the battle line keyword. Not really sure why, unless it's something to do with secondary objectives with the various whatever deck you're using. In this case, I'm assuming the Necron deck, the Prior Nexus, that's the one. But seems a little bit odd. But hey, if it gets people playing Storm Boys, which is a unit I don't see fielded very often, then I'm all for it. Okay, as a mechanic, the listener detachment rule seems to work. It's copying how Umis do it, so you can't complain with that. It does what it says on the tin. Enhancements. Now, these are a little odd. So you have Squad Leader for 15 points, which goes on a War Boss only, and in the declared battle formation step, the bearer can be attached to a Commandos unit, and while they are doing so, then that War Boss has Infiltrators and Stealth abilities. Presumably because Commandos already have Infiltrator and Stealth, so they get that benefit. At 15 points, it seems a little high to me. That should have been a 10-point one, but you tell me. There's Mech Captain. So it goes on a big mech in mega armor, a ball mech or big mech with shock attack gun. During the declared battle formations step, the bearer can be attached to a flash kits unit. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a ranged attack, you re-roll the hit roll. That's quite good. That's 35 points. It's quite high for that. But I suppose if you end up taking a shock attack gun, that could be really, I don't know. 35 points just seems a little high. Mork's Cunning. After both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 Orcs units from your army and redeploy them. When doing so, you can set them in strategic reserve, regardless of how many units are already in strategic reserve. Seeing this a lot in some of these detachments, no complaints. And Gob Boomer for 10 points. War Boss or Mech. Each time the bearer issues tactics, if it can do so, a friendly Orcs infantry or mounted unit within 18. You target a infantry or mounted unit within 18 rather than 6. Given the tactics ability of this detachment, you're always going to take the Gob Boomer. There's no reason not to. The others, I can see Mork's Cunning, just because of what it does. The others are handy dandy, but Gob Boomer is the one that you're going to want every time you field this particular detachment. Stratagems, and there are some nice stratagems. That's ours. In the command phase, 1 Orcs unit from your army that is within engagement range of 1 or enemy units. Until the start of the next command phase, add 1 to the objective control characteristics of models in your unit. Very nice. Helps you steal those objectives. I'll just point out all these are 1 CP. Fight Proper. In the fight phase, 1 Orcs infantry or Orcs mounted unit that has not been selected to fight. Until the end of the phase, they can have either sustained hits or lethal hits. Very, very nice. Tactical Retreat. Your movement phase after an Orc unit from your army falls back, they can then shoot and charge on the turn in which it fell back. No complaints. It's another tactical doctrine. Another detachment of Grotmas receiving this. But no, that's quite handy dandy. Crunching Descent. You're in your charge phase after a Storm Boys unit from your army ends a charge move. You select 1 enemy unit with engagement range of that unit and then roll a d6. For each model in that unit, and on a 4+, they take a mortal wound for a maximum of 6. So it's impact hits, it's tank shock effectively for Orcs flying in on the old jetpacks. Boom, nice. On to the next. In your opponent's movement phase, just after an enemy unit falls back, 1 Orc unit from your army that was within engagement range of that enemy unit gets to make a normal move of up to 6 inches. So you can either try and keep up with them, or you can run behind cover, or you can run onto an objective, or you can do something nice. No complaints. And Dead Sneaky. End of your opponent's fight phase, 1 Commandos or Storm Boy unit that is not within engagement range of an enemy unit gets pulled off the battlefield and put back into strategic reserve. Very nice. So the Commandos and Storm Boys, which are mentioned for 2 of the, was it 2 of these? the commandos for your squad leader, and your storm boys for your being battle line. Do get something for this. I'm still not entirely sure why storm boys are battle line. There must be something I'm missing, or again, as I say, maybe it's just because of certain battle line rules mechanics in Pariah Nexus. All in all, I like this as a detachment. It's not going to win you a lot of games, I don't think. I don't think it quite has the punching ability that you will see from other Orc detachments. But I think it's fun. It's nice and casual. I think it would be quite good for a Crusade game or something of a narrative nature. But it's certainly, I don't see it as a bad detachment, and I think people just need to get over the fact that it's talking about how blood axes work. No reason why you can't use it with your other Orky clans. What do you think? If you're an Orc player, give me your thoughts on this one. Are you one of those people who goes, it's blood axes, can't use it? Tell me why. In the meantime, I'd like to know your thoughts on this detachment down below. In the meantime, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you shortly for the next video. See you in the comments and in the next video. Take care, guys. Good gaming.